Great. Welcome to you both, Jyrki and Laurence. It's so nice to have you here in the studio.
Pleasure.
Great. Maybe to start with you, Jyrki, what do you think, what were the highlights for you personally during this forum of ours?
Well, I think, I would pick up the guidelines, policy guidelines themselves. And I was really happy to see that Scotland is applying and many other countries are following up. I think if I look to the future, I see UNICEF doing history now here, so it's quite important.
Totally.
I'm happy to be part of that history also together with UNICEF.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think, Laurence?
Well, I think the greatest takeaway for me was the sense of urgency. I was in one of the breakout meetings yesterday, and there was this real sense that things are moving very quickly in terms of the application of the technology, and there's really a need to educate and engage children now. In a more light-hearted sense, a highlight for me was discovering that there was a classroom of children in Uganda who were listening in today. So that was great to hear. If you're still listening, hello to the class. So I've been, I think, like others, really struck by how many people are listening in around the world. It's unusual participating in a virtual event like this. It's as if we're on a stage behind a curtain and we can't see the audience. But I've really enjoyed the interaction with people around the world.
Yeah, that's nice. We have definitely a diverse audience here with us. That's lovely. Jyrki, what can you tell us? What will the government of Finland be doing in AI and children in the future?
Well, of course, maybe I'm not able to say on behalf of the whole of the government, but maybe on behalf of the ministry, we are very happy to continue the work together with UNICEF, because UNICEF is one of the leading, if not the most leading organization on the area of children and AI. And I want to emphasize children because that is difference between the others and the UNICEF. I think that's quite important also.
What do you think, Laurence? What will UNICEF be doing next in the future?
Well, we're going to be busy. I can tell you a couple of things I know we're going to be doing. One is on the issue of the governance of children's data. This is an issue that we've started work on over the last year, and we plan to take that forward over the next several months, going deeper, working with partners, including the Government of Finland. So that's one important area which I think is very relevant to the issues we've been talking about. A second area is that within UNICEF, we're going to be developing a strategy for how we apply artificial intelligence. So in some ways, this forces us to go through the same challenge which the 8 partners, the different corporations and governments document in the case study, to kind of run the same gauntlet they've had to run through. So it's one thing to say, here are some principles. It's another to think about how to apply them. And so we're going to have to think about some of those really tricky trade-offs and just I think, practical challenges of, for example, how do we engage young people as we develop AI tools in a genuine way, not just a tokenistic way? How do we explain the AI tools we're developing to young audiences? How do we ensure AI tools we develop don't unintentionally discriminate? So these are all the sorts of challenges which are documented in the case studies, and now we have to go through that to ourselves. So it's going to be an interesting few months developing that internally in UNICEF and seeing if we can meet the standards which we're asking of others externally to meet as well.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? What us participants? What should we do in the future?
Well, I've been really impressed by the expertise among the different participants. So I think there are lots of really great things happening already in this space, and it's great to see all the networking happening. I think there's a lot of opportunity to learn from one another, like we had in the poll yesterday, where we heard that people are here to learn. I think in terms of the policy guidance itself, which we're here to launch, we're really keen for that guidance to be used more widely. And so we're really keen to work with participants in the forum and their networks to ensure it's used by more and more partners. Now, that could be governments who are developing strategies or legislation. It could be corporations or governments who are starting to use AI themselves. But this is we see the guidance as one potentially very powerful vehicle to ensure that as AI tools are developed, they are developed in a way which is child-centered. But the only way we can do that is if there's large uptake. So we would welcome the support of participants in ensuring that widespread uptake. We'd also welcome ideas from participants as to how to create that uptake. So you please get in contact with us if you have ideas for how to make it spread. We want this to go viral in a very positive sense here.
Exactly, and I think this is a good point to see what our participants were thinking about themselves about this question. So we did ask you, our audience, what do you think you or your organization can do to make AI better for children? So I think these are lovely examples on the answers that we had in the chat. For example, I think this is really lovely to start with. Listen to the children on this topic. This is really, we cannot really neglect children from these discussions. Raise awareness and help reduce research gaps. On the accessibility of AI for children. Research is really crucial, don't you think, in this matter? Understand as much as we can about AI and how it can be developed to meet the needs of children. Continue also to conduct research on this topic with children. Yeah, children mentioned again, and doing work with them. Encourage the Finnish government or maybe any government to add this topic to media literacy policies. Teach digital literacy at the university level as well. I think we need all of these educational levels, of course. Raise awareness and build tools for AI engineers and builders to prioritize AI needs and rights in the design and use of their systems. Definitely. AI for children, best practices could be included in private companies onboarding training cycles of AI professionals. We need to take them on board as well, of course. So something for the training teams to coordinate across teams. It's also important to create a friendly vocabulary and translate the children's own view on AI. Many times they have some understanding of what the algorithms do, but maybe they don't know how to express it themselves. What do you think? Does this reflect something to you?
Well, I would actually pick up the role of companies, those companies that are inventing the new applications and also through innovation processes, the innovation funding agencies that are supporting the companies. I think the guidelines are living if the companies are appreciating those guidelines, and so I think that is extremely important, and we should actually follow it up and also look the guidelines because we don't know yet what are the new applications. The future is unknown, so we should actually constantly look the guidelines and how they fit in new situation. When the new applications are coming up. So I think that's quite important to look at in the future as well.
What do you think?
Yeah, I fully agree. I think this point about the training and onboarding of staff in companies is a really interesting one, not one I thought about before. I think that's a great entry point. It'd be good to hear about best practice for onboarding new staff, if we have best practice yet. I also love the point about literacy, about sort of expanding sort of how we think about existing kind of media literacy and so forth, training for children. And then this first point about listening to children is one which we say a lot, but to actually do it well takes real care and thought. And that means, not going to the same group of children every time. It means, and it means listening to a diversity of young voices. So yes, a great points, perhaps better than my initial ideas. So I like this list a lot.
Yes, they are all welcome. Maybe I'll read one more comment from the audience. So we had this idea that we are in the process of developing a stream, science, technology, rights and responsibilities, ethical engineering, arts and math curriculum to support next generation inclusive ethical innovators and technologists from diverse backgrounds. So social workers will be trained to add human rights and social work ethics in STEAM education for children in marginalized communities to develop safe technologies with no bias and harm to people and the planet. I think that's really interesting as well to follow these ideas as well. What do you think? Does it reflect anything?
I love the acronym. I love this.
Yeah,
I love this this stream.
Yeah.
Clearly, the skills required by young people today are continuing to evolve as the world becomes more digital and as new technologies are applied in different ways. We've done some work before at UNICEF over the last couple of years on digital literacy. I think even that work needs to be updated in light of this. So, yeah, fantastic idea, and again an area where I'm sure there's an opportunity for learning, as sort of different curricula are developed in different places in this very kind of fast-changing environment.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me that in Finland we had global innovation, this computer driving license, years back.
We did.
So should we have AI driving license in the future also? That everybody is doing that.
That's a nice idea. Yeah. Keep that in mind. Great. I think these were really valuable points and comments. And of course, I think we need to have a final look also at the amazing drawings our sketch artist Linda has created for us throughout this whole event. Hi there, Linda, once again. Good to see you.
Hi there.
How would you describe your task during these 2 days? How has it been?
Well, as a mother of 2 young boys, I think this team overall is very important. So it has been very interesting 2 days. And, I'm looking forward to the future. Maybe the AI will replace me.
Let's see about that. Hopefully not entirely, I'd say. Thanks, Linda. You've been really successful in capturing the key points of our forum. It's been lovely to have you here. And we do have these drawings on the screen now, and we will find them later on in social media. And already they are there. But what do you think? How do the drawings reflect children's rights and AI to you?
Well, they're amazing drawings. They make me quite depressed because I'm a terrible artist myself. I have 2 kids and they're better at art than I am. They're only 10 and 7, but they've been better than me since they've been able to hold a crayon in their hand. But I love this. I love the picture, and I guess the first thing I'm drawn to is the point in the top right corner, from visions to concrete actions. Our policy guidance, we're very proud of it, but it is, it's a document, and it's principles, and we've been trying to think how do we move from that to action, and that's been the whole real thrust, I think, the last 2 days, thinking about the case studies, thinking about the translation of the guidance for parents and for adolescents. But there's still more I think we can go further, and this is it's ultimately the action we want. So yeah, fantastic drawings, and I'm completely amazed by Linda's work.
What do you think?
Well, I have seen pictures made by AI. This is much better. So, Linda, you can continue your work. I try to look actually where are the companies that are creating the AI applications. I don't see them. Maybe you add it later on, Linda. That's the company. Okay, but there is a gun. They are not all bad. They might be also good. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Linda, so much. You've been excellent in your work at our forum. That's really, really nice. Before we go, are there any final thoughts on your mind, Jyrki?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you, UNICEF. It has been a really great journey. The whole thing, the whole project, this conference, it's really great. And, I wish that, we can work together in the future as well. So thank you very much.
Well, it's been great from our side too. I'm delighted to be here in Helsinki. It's you brought the cold weather for my visit, which was very kind. But it's been a great journey already, and I'm really grateful also to all those people who have joined us these last 2 days and made this such a rich discussion. We didn't. It's hard to put together a virtual event, right? And but just been really blown away by the number of people who have joined us. I know yesterday when we started, there were over 600 people online, so that's just fantastic. We'll make sure that the recording of the event is available to others online. But no, it's just been a fantastic journey.
Great. Thank you so much for your closing remarks, and we'll move forward. And thank you, Jyrki and Laurence, once again.
Thank you.